another Savior.
Holy, 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 Adimebujuku, another Savior.
Another Savior.
Holy, 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 Adimebujuku, another Savior.
Well, this is Mobiel. This is dedicated to the gallant heroes of the Nigerian Biafra War and IPO families all over the world. I remember the Nigerian Biafran War, in the thickness of the Biafra genocide. Hey, one man revived the vanishing hope to life. Let the great Biafran army to fight, and they were singing out, holy, 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 Omoyele is another Savior. They were singing out, holy, 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 Omoyele is another Savior. Holy, 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 Omoyele is another Savior. Many years after the genocide, whoa, yet another great leader has risen up now. Oh, and he's leading the Biafrans to victory. Inyomadika yabika kwa namno. Hey, anamekele mazuche mefo. Mwanemo, it's an honor having you on board. When I'm singing along, holy, 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 Nandekano is another Savior. Just sing along, holy, 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 Nandekano is another Savior. When I sing along, holy, 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 is another Savior. Getting moving right and getting moving faster now. Holy, 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 is another Savior. Holy, holy, getting moving right, moving faster, get the freedom. Is another Savior. Yeah, for freedom. Holy, 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 Nandekano is another Savior.
Ladies and gentlemen, this dance you're about to see now is called Tinubu dance. Are you ready to give me that dance? Oh yeah, everybody go say Tinubu dance. We go the dance. 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 Tinubu dance. Tinubu dance. Give me the dance. Tinubu dance. Give me the dance. Tinubu dance. Give me the dance. Tinubu dance. Oh yeah, Baba dance. Oh yeah, Baba dance. Say, oh yeah, Baba dance. Wait, oh yeah, Baba dance. Listen, Tinubu dance. We go the dance. Tinubu dance. We go the dance. Tinubu dance. We go the dance. Tinubu dance. Voila.
Bikin zama sha kallo. Sai Tinubu, sai Tinubu, sai Tinubu, sai Tinubu,
kankara mai can uwar uban rodi
sai Tinubu,
ga wani sabo da gabbala wurji
sai Tinubu,
don wakar shi ya so ta dau saiti
sai Tinubu,
kudin wakar ya biya a din minti
sai Tinubu,
bauchi kira dai suke taho wunti
sai Tinubu,
mu sai bola tunumbu sai wunti
sai Tinubu, nure mi Tinubu,
kuma an sani
Tinubu,
kifi kifi
Tinubu, mama re mi Tinubu,
mata 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 mata
ai dama,
mata 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 mata
ai hauni,
ku tattaba
samu gaida first lady mata,
dan taka
samu gaida first lady mata,
dan juya
samu gaida first lady mata,
ya bakwai ya tela na budar dangi
mata,
nan motsa sai ya bani mamaki
mata,
direbobi dole sai da kutuki
mata,
sarki ranar hawa ya hau doki
mata,
ashe morewar kudi a kai banki
mata,
idan za ka aje ruwa ka sai tanki
mata,
ashe gona za ta so a kai taki kuna ku daban ne mata da ku nake ku gane kuna ku kullum zabari ne sai da ku ko sai kwanto na titinin bu kwanto na titinin bu ila bi yotunan bu ila bi yotunan
Buhari is dead and buried in a shallow grave in Saudi Arabia.
Okay now. As if they are in the jungle. Lagos is Lagos. It is not jungle. You either obey our law or go to your own jungle.
Tinubu Ahmed of the APC, 8,794,726. Miyadi Peter Nana Chukudi of Abga, 61,166.
Thank you.
You have to be fast. Of the APC. Is hereby declared the winner and is returned.
I don't suffer, no be small. But say I get sense. Poverty no good at all. Now it make I join this business. For one night, no be cheap. It's once again, everybody be there. If anybody follow Mugu, my brother, I go chop. National airport, National stadium, President, my sister, brother, we the Mugu, I be the master. Oh, man, I go chop your dollar, I go take your money, disappear. For one time in love, we the Mugu, I be the master. The refinery, the contract, now you are. But you won't pay me some more money, they can't bring down. You really move, I be the master. When you go play one. I say, I don't see them fire. That's why when they run enter my mouth, I go show them fire. National airport, National stadium, President, my sister, brother, you be the Mugu, I be the master. Refinery, the contract, now you are. But you won't pay me some more money than I bring up. I be the master. I be the master.
And there it is right there. He hears you. Hopefully you can hear me. So 2 for the price of 1. Buy 1, get 1 free. One man went to mow at that sense of deja vu. So one man went to mow the eagle lands again. The eagle lands hoping that is meeting you in excellent health. So one man went to mow. The eagle has landed. The protocol remains the same. Click on the like button just as I invite you to do so. Do so. Click on the like button. Not already subscribed, please correct that as well. Like and subscribe. If you want to come and join me on the screen, come in via the hyperlink that says StreamYard. It's the first line item in the comment section. So I'll send it in right now. So if you want, come join me. If you want to come agree, disagree, add or amend, append, or reduce, whatever it is you want to do, come on the screen and then come have a conversation. You've seen how it goes already, so you already know what the format is. So if you want to come and join, come join. Like, share, subscribe. Click on the hyperlink that says StreamYard to come and join me on the screen. And as has been exemplified by Ayo and Top Thoughts, super chats towards the stream, that's the lubricant, that's the engine oil that keeps the wheel of commerce running, i.e. the one man went to more platform. So that's Ayo right there. And that is our Top Thoughts right there. So and finally, say hello in the comment section so I can acknowledge your presence and say hello back. You know I have no friends, so you be my friend for the next however many hours I'm here. So that should satisfy me. Say hello in the comment section so I can acknowledge your presence and say hello back, as has Agbadorian done, who says another clown in custody, in reference, of course, to the headline. So that's Agbadorian right there, otherwise known as Agbado Motinobo. That is Lato Rich right there, already in anticipation of yet another epic session. Ayo always does it in style, of course. One man delivers, he says, and he backs it up with a handsome super chat. That's Lato Rich again. And who else have we got there? So and that's DJ Dodoye. So that's DJ Dodoye right there, one of the regulars. Who else have we got there? So keep saying hello in the comment section as you are coming in, so I can acknowledge your presence and say hello back. So we just get launched straight into it. We launch straight into it and we kick it off with this one. So we're still very much in the cusp of Nnamdi Kanu and his excesses. Actually, let me actually play you a clip before I get to this one. You see, correct me in the comment section if I'm missaying this Yoruba idiom, but in Yoruba language, we say Ogun akotele kò ń parọ́. It goes along those lines. Ogun akotele kò ń parọ́. As you know, of course, the Yoruba language, a lot of what navigates the world that we live in now has been co-opted from the Yoruba language. So in Yoruba language, we say Ogun akotele kò ń parọ́, and the loose English translation of that is to be forewarned, is to be forearmed. I'm sure you know that one if you don't know the Yoruba version. To be forewarned is to be forearmed. So that's how that saying goes. So here is the forewarning that's now led to Nnamdi Kanu being in the situation that he finds himself now for not heeding to it. So this is where it all started. They told him that it was always going to end this way.
We must come out to support what we're doing. We need guns and we need bullets.
But I'm very confused. Did you make mention of we need arms and stuff?
Yes, we do.
So I really need to understand
that the best way to defend yourself is to be armed. Because Boko Haram is everywhere, in the zoo police, in the zoo army, in the zoo navy, zoo.
Have you ever thought about the effects of what we're trying to fight? Is it possible for the concern to be addressed objectively?
There will be blood moon this year, because after this year we are going to be free no matter what happens. Because if we don't get the effort, everybody will have to die. Simple as that.
And you mentioned guns, you mentioned arms and ammunition. If I go to Nigeria and I've already identified and made myself known, and I get arrested to face treason, what are the modalities you put in place?
What I can say to you is that you can never ever be arrested.
The violent path has failed, leaving us with insecurity, fear, and
so there it is right there. So it wasn't that though it was not forewarned. And did you see did you hear the chilling thing that Nnamdi Kanu said? He said the blood moon is this year. I'm not quite sure what that means, but if everything that has played out succeeding, that particular pronouncement, if everything else that has played out, succeeding, that statement is the definition of that statement, then it tells us then that he was intending on a heavy bloodletting. Let me play it to you again. So just listen carefully. You will hear him say it, that the year of the blood moon is here. Blood, BLOOD. So let's just hear it one more time. It's only about a minute.
We must come out to support what we're doing. We need guns and we need bullets.
But I'm very confused. Did you make mention of we need arms and stuff?
Yes, we do.
So I really need to understand
that the best way to defend yourself is to be armed. Because Boko Haram is everywhere, in the zoo police, in the zoo army, in the zoo navy, zoo.
Have you ever thought about the effects of what we're trying to fight? Is it possible for the concern to be addressed objectively?
There will be blood moon this year, because after this year we are going to be free no matter what happens.
So there it is right there. There will be blood moon this year, because this year we're going to be free. no matter what happens. So there it is. There's just an abundance of evidence against this guy. I cannot see how he's going to get out of it. Nnamdi Kanu takes over as his lawyers withdraw from trial. So I'm not quite sure if his lawyers actually withdrew or he sacked them, because I think he sacked about 3 so far. So he does have a history of use and dump with these lawyers. Nnamdi Kanu takes over as his lawyers withdraw from trial. So there it is right there. A former Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Chief Kanu Agabi. So is this guy actually a Yoruba man? Kanu is an Igbo name, isn't he? But Agabi sounds very much like a Yoruba man. So let me just check that. Can anybody tell me in the comment section, is he a Yoruba man? Lawyer, politician, senator, twice Attorney General. Where was he born? That should tell us, shouldn't it? Where was he born? He went to Unilag. Okay, I didn't want to. You see, now I'm doing a deeper dive into it than I'd intended. Sorry, I'm just wanting to see if this guy is a Yoruba man. It doesn't tell us actually. Where was he born? Oh, all right. A Nigerian lawyer and politician who was a senator and was twice Attorney General and Minister of Justice under Obasanjo. Agabi was appointed. When was he born? But the it doesn't tell. It doesn't tell us where he was born. No, it says Kanu Godwin Agabi. So that sounds like an Igbo name, by my reckoning. But it doesn't tell us where was he born. It says born 1946, British Nigeria. But of what ethnic stock is he? Of what? I hate the word tribe because it's such a colonialist, condescending word. I hate the word tribe. I only ever refer to the Southeasterners as tribe. I refer to the Yoruba people as a race. So I don't. But let's carry on. That's just a diversion. If anybody knows if the guy is a Yoruba, let me check in the comment section if anybody. Nobody knows in the comments. If you know if Agabi is a Yoruba man or an Igbo man, let us know in the comment section. So yes, let's start all over again. Nnamdi Kanu takes over as his lawyers withdraw from trial. A former Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Chief Kanu Agabi, SAN, has formally applied to withdraw his appearance for the detained leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu. Agabi, SAN, who hitherto led Kanu's defense team, announced his decision to pull out from the case after the proceedings resumed before the Federal High Court in Abuja on Thursday. He disclosed that the IPOB leader, who has elected to defend himself, took his case file from him and the other senior lawyers that were part of his legal team. So I'm not quite sure how that actually works, because how is he able to? I wonder if he'll have a team of lawyers and then he'll lead the case. Because how is he able to navigate the technicalities of legality when he has no legal training? So I'm not quite sure. He just wants to turn it into that cliched shouting thing that he does, just shouting like a baboon, just like orangutan sort of something. Nnamdi Kanu takes over as his lawyers withdraw from trial. A former Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Chief Kanu Agabi, SAN, has formally applied to withdraw his appearance for the detained leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu. Agabi, SAN, who hitherto led Kanu's defense team, announced his decision to pull out from the case after the proceedings resumed before the Federal High Court in Abuja on Thursday. He disclosed that the IPOB leader, who has elected to defend himself, took his case file from him and the other senior lawyers that were part of his legal team, confirming the development from the dock Kanu told the court that henceforth he would represent himself. He declined an offer from the trial judge, Justice James Omotosho, for a lawyer to be provided for him. In his first submission as his own lawyer, Kanu challenges the jurisdiction of the court to try him on the 7-count terrorism-related charge the federal government preferred against him. It will be recalled that Kanu, who has been in detention since 2021, had in a fresh motion he personally signed and filed before the court, named several individuals that included serving governors, ministers, ex-governors, and security chiefs amongst the 23 persons he intends to produce as his witnesses, describing them as vital and compellable witnesses in his case. Kanu urged the court to grant him a 90-day period to enable him open and conclude his case. He argued that expanding the initial 6-day period the court gave him to conclude his defense has become necessary in view of the number and status of the witnesses he intends to produce to give evidence in the case. Amongst the proposed witnesses in the principal list he submitted before the court were the governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodinma, that of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Yemson Wike, the immediate past Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, as well as a former Chief of Army Staff, General Tukur Buratai. Others are the Minister of Works, Dave Umahi, the immediate past Governor of Abia State, Okezia Akpayazu, a former Minister of Justice, General Theophilus Danjuma, the immediate past former Director General of the National Intelligence Agency, Ahmed Rufai Abubakar, and the former Director General of the Department of State Services, Yusuf Bichi. Kanu, in the motion dated October the 21st and marked XYZ, equally hinted that he would call other persons whose names were not on the list he submitted. He wants the court to issue a subpoena, which is a form of summons, to compel the attendance of all the proposed witnesses whose evidence he said would establish his innocence of the charge against him. So that's Kanu right there, who sacks his lawyers yet again, and the whole thing is just going to be, it's going to be car crash TV. It's just going to be, those things that you hide behind your hands to watch. It's going to be the one of the ugliest things you'll ever see. Just some semi-literate element from Umahia just shouting on the dog and just acting like a barbarian. That's the expectation of how that will go. So that's that. So let's go on from that. It says court summons Wike, Burutai, Danjuma, Uzodinma, others to testify in Nnamdi Kanu's trial. So it looks as though then the court may have acceded to his wish to have all these high-profile people attend. The Federal High Court in Abuja has approved and signed the witness summons requested by Nnamdi Kanu in his ongoing terrorism case. The signed documents are now ready for delivery to the individuals listed by the detained IPOB leader. Amongst those summoned are the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, Yemson Wike, Hope Uzodinma, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, and former Chief of Army Staff, etc., etc. We all know the list. Kanu had named a total of 23 prominent Nigerians, including former governors, etc., etc. We know that. Justice Omotosho made the announcement in court on Thursday, so which will be today now or yesterday, as it is in my time zone now. Justice Omotosho made the announcement in court on Thursday, confirming that he had granted Kanu's request and that the defendant was expected to collect and serve the summons on the witnesses personally in line with a legal procedure. During the resumed hearing, Kanu stunned the courtroom by revealing that he had dismissed his entire legal team. Addressing the court directly, he declared his intention to represent himself henceforth. His former lead counsel, Chief Kanu Agabi, confirmed the development, stating that they were present only to formally withdraw from the case. Agabi explained, the defendant has taken this case back from us and we respect his decision. He also mentioned that other senior advocates of Nigeria, including Onyechi Akpazu, Joseph Akubo, Paul Orokoro, and Emeka Atiaba, had also withdrawn from the defense team. Following this announcement, Justice Omotosho directed all other members of Kanu's team except the SANs to leave the courtroom. The judge then asked Kanu to proceed with his defense. Kanu, however, declined to open his defense, arguing that the court lacked jurisdiction to try him. He insisted that the federal government had so this is still, it's just like I said, it's going to turn into a farce, and it starts to get farcical from the get-go, actually, because this was his opening statement even. Kanu, however, declined to open his defense, arguing that the court lacked jurisdiction to try him. He insisted that the federal government had disobeyed an earlier Court of Appeal judgment, which, according to him, ordered his release. He further contended that the law under which he was charged, the Terrorism Prevention Amendment Act 2013, and the Customs and Excise Act, had been repealed. He also accused the authorities of denying him fair hearing, claiming that his detention by the Department of State Services DSS prevented him from consulting adequately with his lawyers. Additionally, he rejected a medical report presented by a team from the Nigerian Medical Association, alleging that the document was falsified as it was never examined or tested. So on what basis then would they make that presentation? I'm not quite sure that the Nigerian Medical Association, the same association that farms out all of these doctors that are in all of the prestige hospitals all over the world, I'm not quite sure that they will stake their reputation to falsify any sort of a medical report to indicate that some semi-literate guy from Uma here is fit for trial. I'm not quite sure that Nnamdi Kanu is that big a deal that they will stake all of that just for whatever it is they're saying. He also accused the authorities of denying him fair hearing, claiming that his detention by the Department of State Services prevented him from consulting adequately with his lawyers. Additionally, he rejected a medical report presented by a team from the Nigerian Medical Association NMA, alleging that the document was falsified as it was never examined or tested. In his words, this is a that word won't come out. If I look at it forever, it won't come out. So I think I need water to tackle this one. Pardon me. In his words, this is a jurisdictional issue that goes to the heart of this case. The federal government is in contempt of the Court of Appeal judgment that acquitted me. I was never examined by any medical team, and no samples were taken from me. The report before this court is forged. Responding, prosecuting counsel Adegboyega Awomolo SAN argued that Kanu's oral claims carried no legal weight since they were not backed by a sworn affidavit. He added that the Supreme Court on December the 15th, 2023 had already nullified the appeal court judgment which Kanu relied upon. I'm not quite sure what the silliness of it is. All these people still running around claiming that Nnamdi Kanu had been exonerated. We all know that the Supreme Court sent him back to the lower courts to go and face his charges. So that doesn't exonerate him. That tells him that he has a case to answer and he should go and defend himself. So who has preeminence within the legal structures of Nigeria? Is it the Supreme Court or the Court of Appeal? So I'm not quite sure what it's maddening nonsense, isn't it? It's just that is why I said that whole region, you have to suspend disbelief and just treat that whole region like a comedy skit. I mean, what does he think that means that he has been set free by the Court of Appeal? He's telling that to a judge and an SAN when everybody knows that the Supreme Court said he should go back to the lower courts and be tried. Meaningless nonsense. Actually, should we take it from the top again and go at speed? No, I think we're nearly done with it anyway. But let's take it from the top again and go at speed. Court. So the summons has been sent out. Essentially, is what this tells us. So, let's just round it up. Or we pick it up from a random paragraph. Let's pick it up from here. He also accused the authorities of denying him fair hearing, claiming that his detention by the Department of State Services prevented him from consulting adequately with his lawyers. Additionally, he rejected a medical report presented by a team from the Nigerian Medical Association NMA, alleging the document was falsified as it was never examined or tested. In his words, this is a jurisdictional issue that goes to the heart of this case. The federal government is in contempt of the Court of Appeal judgment that acquitted me. I was never examined by any medical team and no sample was taken from me. So, how are they then, if it's saying that it wasn't examined, how was the Nigerian Medical Association then able to determine that it's fit for trial? So what level of examination did they just observe him through a glass, or what's the level of examination that took place? The report before this court is forged. Responding, prosecuting counsel Adegboyega Awomolo SAN argued that Kanu's oral claims carried no legal weight since they were not backed by a sworn affidavit. He added that the Supreme Court on December the 15th, 2023 had already nullified the Court of Appeal judgment which Kanu relied upon. The judgment that discharged him has been set aside, has been set aside by the Supreme Court. Awomolo said he further faulted Kanu's accusation of forgery, noting that his former legal team had earlier reviewed the medical report and raised no objection. Justice Omotosho intervened, recalling that the same medical report had been discussed in court on October the 16th, with both parties raising no objection at the time. He stated that the court had already made rulings based on the report and would not reverse them. So you can see that Nnamdi Kanu is just trying to delay this thing for as long as is possible. And if you consider that there are still several appeal processes to be gone through, this thing is going to take the better part of 3 years, because it will drag it out and elongate it just as much as it can to take it to the latter part of next year. So round about December next year will be when they will be getting round to. So because if he's calling all these high profile people, they're not going to go and arrest them in their individual places and bring them to court. These people, if they are willing to avail themselves at all, they will avail themselves only based on their schedule. So Sanwo-Olu is not going to abandon administering Lagos State to run to Abuja because of some drugged up guy from Uma here wants him to come and say nonsense in front of a judge. So Sanwo-Olu is not deferring anything. Obuzodinma will probably just tell him to go and jump in a lake. So this thing is going to drag on forever. And then when they go through all this lengthy process, then he will appeal the verdict, and then they will repeat this whole drama again in the appeal court. This thing could take the better part of 10 years. It will just go on and on until they just say, just get out, just get lost. Right. Justice Omotosho intervened, recalling that the same medical report had been discussed in court on October the 16th, with both parties raising no objection at the time. He stated that the court had already made rulings based on the report and could not reverse them. The judge reminded Kanu that he had previously ruled on September the 26th that there was a case for him to answer, giving him an opportunity to present his defense in line with the constitutional right of fair hearing. He also noted that he had earlier allowed Kanu and his lawyers several hours of private consultations to prepare for the case. When asked again to proceed with his defense, Kanu requested more time, saying, I have not had enough time to prepare. I only had 3 hours yesterday in this court. Section 36 of the Constitution allows me to be given adequate facilities to defend myself. My lord, I need time. The prosecution did not oppose the request, prompting the judge to adjourn the case until Friday, October the 24th, for Kanu to begin his defense. I can bet you £1 to a penny that come Friday, it's even today now. So come when they appear in court again on Friday, he will say that his case files was eaten up by a lion in his DSS cell, and therefore he needs another 10 years to start to gather case files again. He will only do another delay tactic. The prosecution did not oppose the request, prompting the judge to adjourn the case until Friday, October the 24th, for Kanu to begin his defense. Justice Omotosho urged the IPOB leader to make good use of the opportunity to defend himself, saying, I beg the defendant in the name of the Almighty God to comport himself and make use of his constitutional right. This is his chance to tell his own side of the story. So they are now begging. It's just the most. It's like a parallel universe. It's like living in a world of make believe. And by the way, whilst all of that has been happening, Amukpeton has been officially sworn in as the INEC chairman. Amukpeton officially assumes office as INEC chairman. So that just happened quietly under the radar of it all. It was sworn in earlier on by Tinubu at the Aso Rock Villa. The newly appointed chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Joash Amukpeton, has officially assumed office, addressing staff members for the first time shortly after being sworn in by President Tinubu on Thursday. Amukpeton emphasized that one of his top priorities is restoring public confidence in Nigeria's electoral process, ensuring citizens believe their votes truly count. He stated that his immediate focus will be the forthcoming governorship election in Anambra State, urging INEC staff to uphold integrity and deliver a credible poll. Professor Amukpeton also pledged to prioritize staff welfare, assuring workers that his administration will strive to create a conducive working environment and provide adequate resources to help them perform effectively. Acknowledging the enormity of the task ahead, the INEC boss described this appointment as divine, calling on staff to remain steadfast in protecting the value of democracy. Let us uphold the value of democracy and work tirelessly to ensure the credibility of all elections, he said. We must not compromise our values or processes. There are consequences, etc., etc. So, a rallying call from the newly elected, newly appointed now INEC chairman. So there's that. So that's that. So this one now, next one, it speaks to this fake medication, fake this, fake that, that we're getting being spread all over the Nigerian space. So who else is in the comment section? Let's say, so that's Oga right there. Good to see you, Oga. So that's Oga. And then this is, I think YouTube is starting to put all these funny things behind people's names again. That's OC right there. Good to see you. It says ordinarily it should not matter. It should not matter the lawyer's tribe, except to clarify if you can insult him. Oh, all right. I don't know, but it's that guy. He has issues. So that's also right there, and that's a guy, of course. The yin to Ayos Yang. That's XYZ right there. That's Adeniyi Anderu. So Adeniyi Anderu right there. That sounds like a Lagos name. One of those Lagos Brazilian names. That's Abdul Mumini right there. And who else is there? Arogi Degba, of course, is saying good morning. I think Arogi Degba actually joins us whilst at work. So keep saying hello in the comment section. Anytime I pop in, I'll say hello back. So this now next one speaks to this this thing of adulterated drinks and adulterated medications that has completely swarmed the whole Nigerian landscape. We all know where they're coming from, oh, but we're not allowed to mention it. UK warns Nigeria about deadly alcoholic drinks. List symptoms to watch out for. So all these drinks that uh, they're just killing people slowly with all this. The United Kingdom's Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office has cautioned Nigeria and 7 other countries over rising cases of methanol poisoning linked to counterfeit alcohol drinks. So there it is right there. Your brothers and sisters are from your brothers from another mother. They're slowly killing you with fake drinks. So that's that. So that's that. Let's go on from that to another one. We're not seeing the super task rushing, by the way, in the manner that we would like. And also, we want, if anybody wants to come into the studio, you can come in as well. Court refuses to hear Kano's objection. Others seem to open or waive his defense. So I think that this is pretty much in line with what we've already read. Uh, yes, any and everything to delay the case, and then they will tell you then that they are holding him in perpetuity without him getting the chance to defend himself. The Federal High Court in Abuja declines to entertain the indigenous people of Biafra leader's objection to his terrorism trial and ordered him to open his defense on Friday. Trial Judge Justice James Omotosho ruled that the issues raised by Mr. Kanu's objection to the court's jurisdiction to conduct his trial had been previously decided, but the judge said the IPOB leader would have the opportunity to revisit the issues in his final written address if he still feels strongly about them at the end of the trial. All preliminary objections should not be entertained at this point, and the order of the court stands, Mr. Motosho said. The judge postponed the commencement of Mr. Kanu's defense, earlier scheduled for Thursday to Friday. I appeal to the defendant to use the opportunity to giving him to enter his defense or waive it if he wants. So he can always plead to waive it. Then is to admit guilt, of course, and then that would then just go to sentencing. Uh, all right. So is there anything new? Is there anything new to be gleaned here? Mr. Kano, who faces terrorism charges over years, we know his backdrop. Why I object to the terrorism trial. After the withdrawal of his legal team, after the withdrawal of his legal team, Mr. Kano, through an oral application, challenged the jurisdiction of the court to try him. He said that on the face of the records before the court, there were 4 jurisdictional defects in the matter. First, he argued that the federal government was in contempt of an order of the appeal court. According to him, although the appellate court had discharged him, he remained in detention for 14 days. A contemptor cannot come to court to seek remedy because he goes to equity. Because he who goes to equity must appear with clean hands, he said. But Mr. Kano's assertion sidesteps the latter decision. So we have the decision of the Supreme Court right here. I'm glad we're reading this. Actually, I'm going to bookmark this because I think we may well be revisiting it often in the course of this Nnamdi Kanu space. Yes, so that's the judgment of the Supreme Court right there. It's quite clear. I'm not quite sure. Maybe it's an English problem. Maybe Nnamdi Kanu doesn't quite understand the English language, or the people advising him even. Um, but Mr. Kano's assertion sidesteps the latter decision of the Supreme Court in December 2023, which overturned the Court of Appeals ruling and ordered him to return to the Federal High Court in Abuja to face his trial. Secondly, Mr. Kano argued that the law under which he was being tried had been repealed, and therefore he could not be prosecuted under a repealed law. He also contended the he also contended that the prosecution had denied him proper consultation. So it's everything we've read already. So there's that. Just delayed tactics by Nnamdi Kanu all the way through. I wonder what he's afraid of. I think we all know what he's afraid of. Let's go on from that to the next one. So this one here. Oh, we've been missing out on our Peter Obi daily. So we are back to Peter Obi. Oh, so that's Arugbi Gidigba right there, congratulating Ogweni. You were not with the earlier session where or did you watch it back? So that's Arugbi Gidigba right there, congratulating Ogweni, who has achieved one of the biggest milestones in life. Obi, why Nigeria did not make IMF list of fast-growing African economies? So I was surprised that Nigeria is not on that list as well. Actually, so I want to know the parameters by which they arrived on a list of growth in Africa that does not include Nigeria. Peter Obi, former presidential candidate of the Labour Party, says Nigeria's exclusion from the list of Africa's fastest-growing economies should serve as a wake-up call for the country's leaders. On October the 17th, the International Monetary Fund (IMF) excluded Nigeria from the list of Africa's fast-growing economies. The IMF listed Benin, Cote d'Ivoire, Ethiopia, Rwanda, and Uganda as the fastest-growing economies on the continent in its Regional Economic Outlook report for Sub-Saharan Africa launched in Washington, D.C. The report added that the region has demonstrated remarkable resilience to a series of major shocks over the past few years. In a statement on Thursday, Obi said the countries ranked by IMF were not wealthier than Nigeria in natural resources, but had surpassed it through disciplined, effective leadership and consistent investment in their people. So yes, he said everything that predictably Obi would say. That sluggish, low-witted, empty-brained, what gibberish that he often says. So sluggish, slow-witted, empty-brained gibberish. We go on from that to this, which is even more gibberish-ish. Pardon me. I'm not quite sure. My throat is just fully dry. It's I probably. All right, we go on from that to this. Sowore arrested in court whilst attending Kano's trial. So I thought they were not going to give him the satisfaction of arresting him, which is what we know Sowore most fervently wants. So with the arrest of Sowore now, yeah, so it will be a recurring decimal in the news cycle. So the news cycle cannot run through without mention of Sowore, and that is exactly what he wants. So he will be in that custody, and then they will bail him, and then they will come in front of the cameras and do his American ding dong that he does, and then he will start going around all the TV studios, tell you, oh, this is the and then this corrupt system. We will bring it down from the top to bottom. We will continue to. It will just. It's just going to be a nuisance for the next few months now, just off the back of this arrest, which has been angling for so long. Sowore arrested in court whilst attending Kano's treason trial. And I wonder why this person put the treason in quotation marks as though it was a misstep or something. Who wrote this? Ibrahim Sophie Yulaha. So this is a northerner. Is he? So let me see. Are the northerners now writing articles in newspapers? Oh God. Education, biomedical engineering, First Technical University, Ibadan. Oh, is he a Yoruba man? A graduate of First Technical University in Ibadan, he was the founder and pioneer editor in chief of a fast-rising campus journalism outfit at his university. He co-authored a book. Well, okay. Oh, all right. All right. So that's that. Ibrahim Sophie Yuala, or whatever that is. That's the name of the person that the journalist that wrote this piece. Sowore arrested in court whilst attending Kano's treason trial. I only went to check him out because he put the treason in quotation marks, as though there was something wrong with that, somewhat as though there was a misstep somewhere. Uh, Human rights activist and former presidential candidate Omoyele Sowore has been arrested by the police at the Federal High Court in Abuja. The arrest took place shortly after he attended proceedings related to the ongoing trial of the detained leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra (IPOB) Nnamdi Kanu. Correspondence report. Sowore had earlier led a protest tagged hashtag Free Nnamdi Kanu protest in Abuja on Monday, but managed to evade arrest when security operatives detained several demonstrators. He later disclosed on. And by the way, before we even get, okay, I'll play you something after. There was a, I think it might well be elements of public pressure that made them arrest Sowore, and that public pressure very much coming out of the southeast. Sowore arrested in court whilst attending Kanu's treason trial. A human rights activist and former presidential candidate Omoyele Sowore has been arrested by the police at the Federal High Court in Abuja. The arrest took place shortly after he attended proceedings related to the ongoing trial of the detained leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra (IPOB) Nnamdi Kanu. Correspondence report. Sowore had earlier, pardon me. Sowore had earlier led a protest tagged hashtag Free Nnamdi Kanu in Abuja on Monday, but managed to evade arrest when security operatives detained several demonstrators. He later disclosed on social media that 13 protesters, including Kanu's brother and lawyer, were apprehended during the demonstration. Before his arrest, Kanu had shared a video of himself at the Federal High Court where he said he met Kanu's lead lawyer, Kanu Agabi, SAN. In his post, the activist claimed Agabi told him that the legal team planned to withdraw from the case, leaving the IPOB leader without representation. He was sure that it was completely political, as Sowore wrote before being detained. So, what was completely political was Nnamdi Kanu's lawyers, were they forced to withdraw from him because he has sacked for several lawyers in the course of his travails or in the course of his journey with the authorities? So how is it completely it's just, this guy just says the most ludicrous things. It was sure that it was completely in his post. The activist claimed Agabi told him that the legal team planned to withdraw from the case, leaving the IPOB leader without representation. He was sure that it was completely political. Sowore wrote shortly after being detained. As he exited the court premises, a team of police officers reportedly intercepted him and requested that he accompany them to the station. After a brief exchange, he complied and was taken into custody. A close associate of the activist who spoke with correspondents on condition of anonymity said the police had earlier extended an invitation to Sowore through the Commissioner of Police in the Federal Capital Territory. He was going to honor their invitation. It was in the itinerary. I wonder why they were so much in a hurry, the associate said. So that's Sowore right there. I don't have the anticipation that they will I don't have the anticipation that they will hold him for too long, because otherwise then his minions will start circling police stations doing free Sowore now. Free, it's not, the whole thing is just it's just so unnecessary. You know, it does this protest that means nothing, because Nnamdi Kanu does have charges to answer. Everybody, even Sowore, he knows that Nnamdi Kanu has charges to answer, and Nnamdi Kanu is not being held in perpetuity by the courts. He's delaying the case. So what exactly was the protest for? The protest had no meaning. It was only really for the purposes of getting this arrest, so that he can continue to become. There are two things that Sowore achieved with this protest. He cut into the southeastern space that is almost exclusively occupied by Peter Obi. So he wants to cut into a slice into Peter Obi's space to say that, look, me, an Ijaw man from Ondo, I'm fighting for your son, and you of your own stock cannot even fight for him. So he wants to cut into that narrative, and he also wants to be arrested so that it can become a recurring decimal in the news cycle. And that is how we operate. It's just a desperate politics. He has to do these outlandish things in order for him to continue to be relevant. And that's how Sowore's politics has evolved. Why we arrested Sowore in court, this is the police coming to. So everybody now knows the value of public opinion, and the Nigerian authorities now there. We didn't get a lot of this with Buhari, by the way, who just he hid in his own cocoon, and if you come too close, he will just shoot you. So that was how Buhari operated. But these guys here now, they are matching you energy for energy. They are matching the public space energy for energy. Why we arrested Sowore in court, this is the Nigerian police. I have a clip of it as well. The Nigerian police force has clarified that the 2023 presidential candidate of the African Action Congress, Omoyele Sowore, was arrested to ensure fairness in the prosecution of those involved in the hashtag Free Nnamdi Kanu protest. Correspondents reported that Sowore was arrested on Thursday at the Federal High Court in Abuja shortly after he appeared in solidarity with the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu. Whilst addressing journalists in Abuja on Thursday, the first public relations officer, Benjamin Hundeyin, said Sowore, who led protesters into a restricted area during a demonstration in support of Nnamdi Kanu, was arrested to ensure that justice is evenly applied to everyone involved. According to Hundeyin, Sowore would not be detained beyond necessary limits and will be arraigned today. So it's catch and release. That's essentially, I think it's the symbolism of it more than anything else. But they are just giving him even more oxygen for him to go into the public space and do his usual peacocking, the feather flapping that he likes to do so much. He said, if we move from there to charge, he said, if we move, let me take it from two paragraphs up actually. Whilst addressing journalists in Abuja on Thursday, the first public relations officer, Benjamin Hundeyin, said Sowore, who led protesters into a restricted area during a demonstration in support of Nnamdi Kanu, was arrested to ensure that justice was evenly applied to everyone involved. According to Hundeyin, Sowore would not be detained beyond necessary limits and will be arraigned today. He said, if we move from there to charge some people to court and leave the person who led them to commit that act, more like their leader, the elite protester who told them and took them into the restricted area, that would not be fair. And that is why, in the spirit of fair play and to ensure that justice is served, Omoyele Sowore has been arrested. Like the others, he would not spend time with us. He would not spend up to 24 hours with us. Once we wrap up the charges, he is going to be prosecuted. In fact, if everything goes right, our plan is to ensure that he is prosecuted today. He goes to court today. So it's essentially a case of catch and release. It's for the symbolism, as I said, it's more of a symbolic thing. I think I actually have a clip to that space. So let me see. Do I have that clip? I think I have a clip to that space. Yes. Yes. Let me play you this clip. Yes, I have two clips actually. The first clip actually tells you the build-up that forced the hand of the police to arrest Sowore. So it does show you that very much public opinion and the social media, it orchestrates and moves things around very much within the Nigerian space. So this was the pressure that led to Kanu to Sowore being arrested. So this was where the pressure came from. So we'll watch the video that tells us what pressured the police to act, and then we'll hear from the police to tell us why they acted. So we're watching two clips that interlink.
Esther, do you know my fear here? Do you know that if those governors or Peter Obi was in that protest, he would have been arrested though?
Obviously, now you didn't see the different court orders. Don't go here, go here. The protest is cancelled. No, it's not cancelled. We got like 5 or 6 different court orders before yesterday, before today.
Even at that, Esther, the arrowhead of Sowore, nobody even talked to him or picked him up.
He ran, oh.
He ran, but is it? He didn't run so much that nobody could catch him.
No, when they were shooting, he had to run. He had to seek cover.
When he ran, you mean nobody could catch him? Is that what you're trying to let me know?
Okay,
you
so
see, what I'm saying is that look at Nnamdi Carlos' lawyer. What happened to his case on the 24th? What if they did not release him? They know. Why did they select these people and arrested all of them?
But is a lawyer supposed to be in that protest?
Sorry?
Is a lawyer supposed to be in the protest?
Even at that, if they want to arrest, why not arrest all of us?
Arrest all of us? Were you there?
No, I mean like Sowore.
Oh, like, okay.
Yeah, the first person they should have picked up is Sowore. That means the police was instructed not to touch him. If not, does it make sense that the real arrowhead was left alone, and then the people that he called are the one that they picked up? How do you justify that? And he was calling Peter Obi, all the governors. So this is what would have happened to them today, Esther. Hold on. You mean this is what would have happened to Obi and other leaders that he was calling out? It's a very big shame. Truly, my people perish for lack of knowledge. Very big shame. Do you know that with what has happened today, it may not harden the position of government?
So that was where the pressure came from to arrest Sowore, and here is the police justifying that arrest.
Today, Sowore has been arrested by the Nigerian Police Force. And you would ask, why was he arrested? It is very simple. The 13 people that were arrested previously all gave their statements, and there is a constant in all of their statements. Every one of them mentioned that one Omoyele Sowore led them into the restricted area in contravention of the court order. So it would be most unfair to charge some people to court and leave the person that led them to commit that more like their leader, the lead protester who told them and took them into the restricted area. And that's why in the spirit of fair play and to ensure that justice is served, Omoyele Sowore was arrested today, and like the other story, he wouldn't spend time with us, he wouldn't spend up to 24 hours with us. Once we wrap up the charges, he's going to be prosecuted. In fact, if everything goes right, our plan is to ensure that he is prosecuted today, he goes to court today. About the Nnamdi Kanu protest and what's the latest on it, you would remember that 8 people were arrested on Monday in the Transcorp area of Abuja. They were arrested because they contravened the court order that restricted movement within those areas. Despite several warnings to them not to move into the restricted area, they charged headlong into the area, and like we warned 2 days before the protest in our statement that anybody that contravenes the order will be arrested and prosecuted. So like one, we actually got them arrested, and 5 others around the Ministry of Finance also within the restricted area, bringing them to 2013. And they were arraigned the very next day. They didn't spend up to 24 hours in our custody. They were arraigned the very next day, and they've been remanded.
So there it is right there. Essentially, it was admitting that they were pressured into arresting him, and it's like catch and release. By tomorrow, he should be out, and then he'll be running around making even more noise, trying to cling on to the attention for as long as he can. So now this one now, we've been bringing you a lot of statistical data over the course of. So here is another interesting data. Nigeria ranks third amongst Africa's top 10 strongest military power. This is as at 2025. So the strongest military in Africa is Egypt, followed by Algeria, and then Nigeria comes third. Stronger than South Africa, Ethiopia, Angola, Morocco, Congo, Sudan, and Libya. So a lot of the ones that they are stronger than, I'm not really surprised. I'm surprised that Nigeria has a stronger military than South Africa. But then, of course, you have the anticipation that they'll be stronger than Ethiopia, Angola, maybe not Morocco, but certainly Congo, Sudan, and Libya. Just given the state, Libya used to have the strongest army, in Africa once upon a time. And it's all of the weapons of the Libyans, by the way, that are cascaded through the Sahel and now ended up in the hands of these insurgents that are ravaging us in Nigeria. And talking about those weapons, let me just play you this clip. Actually, let me play you this clip just to show you where the Libyan weapons ended up in Nigeria mainly. But watch this.
رب بيد ينقار دافي الحمد لله وي قيتك دوم دكا جنا ذو القرنين يا مار الله أكبر.
So there it is right there. So that was the Janjaweeds that now control the Libyan weaponry. So that's the Janjaweeds. So we've got one last one. So this will be the last readout. So if anybody wants to come in. If you don't feel inclined, then don't feel obliged. But if you want to come in, or otherwise we just make it an early one. So this one now, I am the best ADC presidential aspirant. This is the pot-bellied guy from the creeks, Rotimi Amechi. Former governor of Rivers State, Rotimi Amechi, has opined that his experiences have given him an advantage over other presidential aspirants in the African Democratic Congress ADC. So I'm not quite sure what experience he has outside of the other contenders that puts him ahead. He was a former state governor, as was Peter Obi. Atiku was even one step further, a former vice president. He was a minister as well, but I don't think Obi was ever a minister. But I think being a vice president has preeminence over being a minister or a governor. So I'm not quite sure what he means by that. 2027, I am the best ADC presidential aspirant or aspirant, however you choose to pronounce it. That's Amechi right there. Former governor of Rivers State, Rotimi Amechi, has opined that his experiences have given him an advantage over other presidential aspirants in the African Democratic Congress ADC. Correspondents report that Amechi made this known in a post via his Facebook page whilst sharing his experiences in tackling the security crisis that engulfed Rivers State during his tenure. Amechi, who is seeking the ADC presidential ticket ahead of the 2027 elections, said Port Harcourt, the Rivers State capital, was overrun by criminals when his administration assumed office. The former Minister of Transportation said economic activities in Port Harcourt had been crippled but were revived by his administration within 6 months. He said, I served as a governor in a state where people were being killed and being kidnapped. Robbery was on the increase and people could not go out in Port Harcourt. Parties were not going on and hospitals were in crisis. The only source of entertainment to men was their wives. But in 6 months after we came in, we chased away the criminals. We called people to go back to work and parties and asked them to do whatever they wanted to do. So I am the only so because he was able to throw parties in Port Harcourt, that qualifies him to be president. It's like it's like some weird and wonder one. It's like we are living in a matrix anyway. We're living in a matrix. It's like some weird and wonderful space that these people live in. What does that? How does that qualify you to be president of the country? You were able to throw parties in Port Harcourt, and therefore you should be president. Parties were not going on, and hospitals were in crisis. The only source of this is what qualifies able. The only source of entertainment to men was their wives. So stopping their wives being the entertainment to the men qualifies him to be president. It's just quite bizarre actually. Parties were not going on and hospitals were in crisis. The only source of entertainment to men was their wives. But in 6 months after we came in, we chased away the criminals. We called people to go back to work and parties and asked them to do whatever they wanted to do. So I am the only aspirant of the party that does not only come with experience but has served in a state where what is facing us now has faced us. So, which state has that? Do you not remember? Is it the Ogulu massacre or something where Peter Obi just extrajudicially quied tens of thousands of people and threw them in a river somewhere in Anambra State? So that's what qualifies people to be president of Nigeria, paying people extrajudicially. So that's the end of it. Now I'll send the link in the comment section again. We'll rattle through the very few clips that we have. Play the Kegite music. We'll see what happens after that. Let me trail some new Kegite songs. Let me see. Tell me if you prefer this one. I've been this. If you like this one, then this will be our new Kegite song. Tell me if you like this one. Oh, all right. Somebody sent that in that we should. Somebody sent that in that we should give it consideration to replace the Kegite music. So let me know if you like it or not. So now this is Yusuf Tugar, our Foreign Affairs Minister, in the international space, addressing then that idea of America deporting their refugees, their deplorables to Nigeria. Do you remember when they came up with that proposal that they want to be deporting Venezuelans of all people to Nigeria? Quite how they blend into that society, I don't know. Venezuelan criminals from America, as though we don't have sufficient enough criminals of our own. So that question was put to Yusuf Tugar, and this was how he responded to it.
And I think you've resisted, but Ghana, for example, has taken some, and it's actually got better visa access. And I think you've resisted, but Ghana, for example, has taken some, and it's actually got better visa access for its citizens to the United States. It's got sort of multi-year, multi-entry visas. I think for Nigerians, it's very difficult to get those visas, much shorter. Is it time for Nigeria to engage on that? Are you engaging with the United States on that? Do you feel pressure to take deportees from the US?
I think that ship has sailed. We made our point, and I believe it's been it's no longer on the discussion table. We continue to enjoy a good relationship with the United States. We do not see the need to take in other nationals under duress from any country, because we already have a population, like I said, of 230 million people. So we're not short of people. Our focus is, as we move closer to becoming 400 million, which we will be in the next 25 years, to train our workforce, to tackle the issue of poverty, of unemployment, so that we have the right dependency ratio that will be able to sustain us as we move into the future. So there are lots of opportunities. We can partner with all comers to tackle our challenges, as well as to provide the opportunities for those that are working with us.
It's a really striking figure, and as one gets older, you realize 25 years is a much shorter time than you originally might imagine. But how will you create the jobs for all these people coming into the...
So there it is right there. You know, Tinubu has some real excellent performers within his administration. And one of my favorite, I've said it often enough, one of my favorite ministers in this administration is exactly that guy. It's just the consummate ambassador. Yes, it's the consummate ambassador. It's just the near perfect. You know, we've had some very decent Minister of Foreign Affairs. The best one so far had been Bolaji Akinyemi, but Godfrey Onyema under the Buhari administration, he was quite decent too. But I think this guy might be better than Godfrey Onyema. It's just such a smooth and a sleek operator, and that is exactly what you need in your front-facing towards the international space. So that was our Foreign Affairs Minister politely telling the Americans to shove it up their behind. Shove it up their behind. Shove it up their behind. So from the sublime, as I often say, to the ridiculous. Yeah, you know now that Buhari recently passed away, and a lot of you may think he died of natural causes, but we do believe that there were some spiritual hands in it. This clip explains all that to us. So the spiritual hand that puts the final curtain on Buhari, you won't believe where it's coming from. It's actually coming out of the southeast. For reasons of punishing him for treating Nnamdi Kanu so badly, they put the kibosh on him. Undugurudu, they sent Undugurudu to go and take Buhari's life in London, as it's been explained by this man.
I killed him.
You said you killed Buhari?
Yeah.
How? And how?
Yes, I killed him.
You said you killed Buhari?
Yeah.
How? And you killed him in what year? Please, in what year did you kill him?
I cast a spell. Now, I casted a spell, I think 2 weeks. Approximate, I don't know, I think it's about 2 or 3 weeks. I casted a spell 2 or 3 weeks before Nnamdi Kanu was released from prison. And I casted a spell, and I made a declaration. I declared that when this Buhari comes back, he's going to be different. And he came back, he became younger than the way it is. Let me tell you something. A lot of people disagree with me, but anybody, to my own opinion, you see, I think my opinion, any Igbo person, I'm not insulting you, that sees this man that they call Buhari now and thinks that that man is truly Buhari, I think that person lack understanding. This is my opinion. Okay, you might disagree with me. I think that person lack understanding.
I'm one of the people that are saying that I don't believe it. You know why?
That's my opinion. You see now, you are bringing Nnamdi Kanu now. You are bringing in Nnamdi Kanu. No. I'm not here. I'm not.
My brother, hear me out first. I'm not bringing Nnamdi Kanu. Like I told you, I'm not going to center this topic on Nnamdi Kanu. If I was going to center it on it, I would have been asking you about your wife. That is not what I came here to do. What I came here to do is, if I was going to make it about Nnamdi Kanu, I would be asking you about your relationship with him, because you know where I'm going to. But I don't want to go there. Nnamdi Kanu was released in 2017. President Buhari with Donald Trump in 2018. Are you telling me that Donald Trump met a different person in the name of President Muhammadu Buhari? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
So now, you said Nnamdi Kanu said. So you want me now to confirm what Nnamdi Kanu said? What he didn't say?
I didn't say Nnamdi Kanu said. You didn't hear me. Please, let me repeat my question again.
No, repeat it, please.
I said Nnamdi Kanu was released in 2017. President Buhari met Trump in 2018. Now my question is, are you telling me that the Buhari that met Donald Trump is not the real Buhari that was voted into power in 2015? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Well, no matter whatever it is, I killed Buhari, and the man sitting today in Nigeria is not Buhari, period. So I'm not in the time to begin to check who met with Donald Trump and who didn't met with Donald Trump. I know Amuriya, I cast a spell and Mebuoya. And this one that is today in Asarok or whatever is not Buhari. If that man come out and prove that he's Buhari, you will never hear my mouth, Biafra. You will never hear my mouth talk about God anymore. That will be over. That man, Buhari, I killed him. And that's it.
The thing is this.
The proof of the burden is not from me, for me to bring evidence on Yemuru.
No, the proof of burden is on you. That
it doesn't lie on me. It lies on him to prove that he is the president. He is Buhari. Let him come out and answer questions.
No. The onus is on you to prove.
No, it's not on me. It cannot be on me.
It's quite unbelievable. You know that mental health is a real issue in Nigeria. It's an epidemic that nobody is looking to speak to address. You know, when I say some of these people, they live on a parallel universe. That's yet another example, just countless examples. That guy is not of this world, is he? It's of a different world. It's not from the world that you and I belong to. Certainly not. It's from a different world where I don't know, where sheep marry dogs. I don't know what goes on in the world that they live in, but there it is right there. So there it is right there. He killed Buhari by casting a spell on him. So let me make, this will be the last clip now, and then we play the real Kegite music. Here is Adams Oshiomhole inviting his colleagues in the red chambers to stop rigging elections. He stands accused as well, but is inviting them that enough is enough of the rigging of elections. So Adams Oshiomhole.
As elected persons, we as senators shall not directly or as elected persons, we as senators shall not directly or indirectly, secretly or openly, aid and abet unemployed or semi-employed people and arm them to disrupt election. If we reform our character, this problem is 90% solved. In Edo State, sir, I launched 1 man, 1 vote, 1 woman, 1 vote. At the end of the day, and as of today, it is now possible to do election without cutting dead bodies. It wasn't so before, because we convinced everybody that there is no merit in taking election or conducting an election as if it is a state of war. The beauty of democracy is not the fact that you find yourself occupying an important elective office. It is the feeling in your heart that people actually, in their free will, found you worthy to be their voice and to entrust our collective patrimony in your hands to manage, to deliver the greatest good to the greatest number. That for me is the beauty. If you achieve it by the aim of, by through rigging or other manipulation, deep in your heart, you know that you are not a happy person. After every election, violent crimes increase because the politicians who have procured weapons for children who are hungry and pay them a little fee, once the election is over, they are not able to retrieve the weapons. And the weapons are then deployed by these people for violence. You can see a strong correlation between the level of criminality, robbery, etc., immediately after the election. Because these people have been abandoned since the results have been given.
Oh, all right. So that is right there. So that's Adam Omoyele calling his colleagues to order. So that's that. We play the Kegite music, and then if nobody turns up, we'll call it tonight. And we have 2 sessions again tomorrow. The Kegite.
Water, only water, where they see ma. Water, 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 water. Only water, where they see ma. Hapa o naido. Hapa o naido. Hapa you don't come o. Hapa o naido. Hapa o naido. Oro kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mùrè o. Ilé sọ́díyà kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mùrè o. Bobby Master kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mùrè o. Chief Latif kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mùrè o. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹlẹ́mùdé. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹgbẹ́ ẹlẹ́mùdódò jàre o. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ Ghana ti dé ẹgbẹ́ bọ́dì o. Ọmọ ẹlẹ́yẹ ẹ̀yẹ o ó dilé o. Olúyẹ̀lá ẹ̀yẹ o ó dilé o. Petrosoname ẹ̀yẹ o ó dilé o. Petrosodunke ẹ̀yẹ rẹ̀ ó dilé o. Ẹlẹ́kọ̀ ọ̀run mú ìní o. Àkùkọ ọ̀run mẹ́kọ̀. Ikú kò ní ríwà gbéṣe o.
And there it says right there, Ikuko Neriwa Agwese, but death have nothing to do with us. So Ikuko Neriwa Agwese, so the super chatters, that's Ayo right there, always Ayo. That's top thoughts right there. Thank you, top thoughts. And I thought I saw Arogidegwa as well. So that's Arogidegwa. So that's that. We do it again around about lunchtime tomorrow and have a late session as we did today. So thank you everyone. See you tomorrow.